Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss the brand new 2022 Netflix original film, made, produced, starring a bunch of different German people, made in Germany. It's called The Privilege. This came out February 22. This is, bro, this is a wild ending. Wild ending. I don't understand how this has a 4.7 on IMDb. I specifically looked it up as soon as I finished it because the last 15 minutes of this film were insane. The whole lead up is like, okay, is it just a ghost? Is it a demon? Then there's an exorcism. That was a scary scene. But then it's like, what's going on? Why are these kids all being given this drug, which is actually filled with this fungus, which causes hallucinations? But the fungus can only be grown on corpses. So like, why is this in a drug? Why are these kids at this private school, all experiencing these symptoms? Why? What are the connections? And we get the connections. We get the whole cultist parental aspect. We get the whole sacrificing the body to this demon Trenthal. Like, it's wild ending, prepping the main character Finn to go into his next transformation of actually taking in his grandfather. So it was a lot of like, what the hell was that film? It's called Get Out. There's just this whole family of this whole white family was like taking in all these black guys to like use as vessels or something like that. Like their elders' souls would go into them ish. Catherine Keener was in it. What the hell was the name of the movie? Was it called Get Out? It kind of reminded me of that at certain points. But then a lot of this reminded me of Little Joe too, with what is Joe Locke and Kit Connor. There we go. So Kit Connor, he's been acting since he was a kid. He plays Joe in this film Little Joe, and his mom's is a botanist, and she like creates this plant which like gives out these pheromones that create exorbitant amounts of dopamine, but like you live to serve this plant. So like it kind of reminded me of that too, like all of this like ashy, smoky Stranger Things stuff going on. It's a Netflix property, so that makes sense. Like just the friends then coming in, saving the day, killing the sister who's still possessed, like all of these wild things. And then it's a matter of who do you trust at the end if this drug is now being mass produced by the elites, by the privileged. And then like, friend being possessed at the end, and you're like, oh, is there going to be a sequel? But like, there doesn't have to be a sequel. This just, it was wild. The last 15 minutes, I was like, I didn't expect any of this, and realized I don't speak German. So I'm reading subtitles while I'm watching all of the crazy house explosions, murders going on. It was just wild. That is the best explanation. This is a great horror film. Great horror film. I gotta watch this again. I got chills. I gotta watch this again, and I gotta pick up on all the clues as it goes along. Definitely something you need to watch more than once. Definitely not something to just watch once. I don't understand how this has a 4.7 on IMDb. This was wild, and all because of a demon who comes from this fungus that grows on corpses. Of all the things, it just worked. It's my kind of film. It's my kind of film. It was just so out there. It's my kind of film. I genuinely loved this film. And the music was incredible. The actors did an incredible job. I loved, this is just so trivial to the actual film, but main character's name is Finn, right? And his best friend, she called him Finny all the time. And I thought it was the funniest thing, and it wasn't F-I-N-N-Y, it was F-I-N-N-I. That's just how the subtitle went. So she'd call him on the phone and be like, Finny. And I loved it. I loved it. On to the next review. Mucho mahalo.